how um, precarious is Prime Minister Netanyahu at the moment? The demonstrations against him were massive. The public is siding with the hostage families. Very legitimate argument made in Haaretz this morning that he killed the hostages, not personally pulled the triggers, but was responsible for their being killed by his intransigence during the negotiations.
Yeah, and if people who are listening rather than watching like I do, that Sonia could put that quick just so people know what that headline was. So the headline Haaretz there was, as Israel erupts in anger, Netanyahu spins, lies, and sentences the hostages to death. Can you imagine an American paper reporting or criticizing in such a way? And this is one thing I think we should know.
People are fed up, Matt. Yeah. You know this better than I.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we have to remember, though, is that in some ways, Netanyahu is still the most popular politician in Israel. If you have a poll of the available politicians, available choices for the Israelis, Netanyahu comes at top. Now he comes out at top with less than a third of the support, but it shows that his base is really unshakable, that his base is really committed to this. And so that when I was watching these videos of these hundreds of thousands of people who are out in the streets, who we have to also make clear were not out there for peace. They were not out there supporting a two-state settlement. They're not out there protesting the genocide that's occurring.
They're just out there over angerness over him.
And even so, in getting the hostages back. I think even this weekend, the Israeli cabinet voted on this question of the Philadelphia corridor, this idea of keeping Israeli troops on the border there between Egypt and Gaza. And it was 8-1. 8 of the cabinet members voted with Netanyahu, saying we're not moving our troops out, which is what Netanyahu said last night in a televised address. We're not removing the troops from the Philadelphia corridor. In that 8-1 vote, the one who voted against that was the defense minister, Yoav Gallant. And, I think General Halevi, the IDF chief of staff, so the uniformed head of the military, he let the cat out of the bag when Halevi said, why don't we just get this ceasefire for 6 weeks, get the hostages back, I'm paraphrasing, allow ourselves to refit and rest and reorganize, and then we can go back in. So even those who are arguing against keeping troops there in the Philadelphia corridor are saying, just for the time being, just use it so that we can use this ceasefire for our purposes, get our people back home, as well as reorganize and refit the army. But when I was watching the videos of all the people who are out in the streets, I wish we could mobilize like that here in the United States. I mean, you're talking about an Israeli population, Israeli Jewish population of 7 or 8 million, and they get 1/7, 1/8 of them out on the streets. I wish we could do that here in the U.S.